Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that each and every one of you are here. If you are interested in a personal reading, I do have those available in the community section of the channel page. So feel free to check those out. And also, thank you so much for all of your donations. They really do help out the channel, and I am just so grateful. So thank you so very much. Okay, so today we are going to do a collective message for you. We're going to see the call of the ego, the call of the soul, and then the bridge, which is the leap, challenge, or decision to face, and the change or action you're being called to make. So let's get into this. I'm going to take a step aside to let Spirit pass through. All right, Spirit, what does the collective need to know for their highest good today? Okay. Call of the soul. Okay. And the bridge. Oh, there is two. And we've got two. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So the call of the ego or the obvious life is whale and orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So this could be what you're doing right now. Oh, okay. I think I know what this is. Okay, so the energy that I just tapped into is all right. When we're on this journey, what can happen is after a spiritual awakening, especially, or after, some sort of, yeah, spiritual awakening, we're just going to keep it simple. What can happen is we get so immersed in the deep diving and we are just going within, going within, going within. And that is a very great place to be. It's a good thing to do. That's where the answers lie. That's where we get into touch with ourself and our soul, and we start doing shadow work, and we are integrating, and we're, facing those, you know, shadows or, inner demons, whatever you want to term them, turn. Yeah, it's where you're turning your shadows into light basically, and you're integrating, right? So it's a lot of inner work that I'm picking up on. And what kind of came through is sometimes when we're doing so much of that inner work and we're deep diving so much, it can be easy to get lost there. So it's that concept of like when you start to ascend and you start to have out otherworldly experiences and things like that, it can be tempting to want to get lost there and stay there and not want to come back to earth, basically. And this is kind of a similar concept where you're doing so much deep inner work and you might be being asked to bring some of that inner work that you're doing into your outer reality. This is that energy of you've done so much inner work, and now in order to, okay, okay, I hear that. So yeah, I definitely resonate with this. So basically what it is it's where we get so excited about this spiritual ascension journey, and then so all we do is just more inner work and ascend, more inner work and ascend. Well, the thing is there comes a point where to get to next levels, you are being asked to bring some of that out into your external world, to interact with other people, to share your gifts, something of that nature. This could be, some of you might be ready to actually be a mentor for others, to teach others that are a little bit further back on the path than you, and kind of be the guide to help people, um, with everything you've learned so far. And then that way, that's part of the journey, is so we go within, we do a lot of inner work, and then we express that in the world in some way. Sometimes this is through art. Sometimes this is through writing a book. Sometimes this is through being a mentor, being a guide, being a teacher. Um, maybe you're sharing your story on social media and you're helping people that way. Doing online courses, something of that nature. And the message here is to really make sure that you are sharing as well as diving deep. Okay, so let's see what the call of the soul is. All right, star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. And jump in. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Okay, so that's exactly it. So basically what I'm picking up from these two in the placement of where they're at is basically just what I was saying. So you're being asked to take some action, to jump into something and to say yes to something that you've been debating. And then also to continue to do the inner work and look for those deeper mysteries within, look for that next layer. But you're not, what's coming through is it's going to be very difficult to access that if you're not taking some aligned action in your physical reality as well. And so those answers do lie within you. What you're seeking is within you. And also you're going to find that you're able to access that a lot easier and clearer. Okay. Than if you're not sharing it with others. And so this is something else as well, is sometimes when we have a block in a gift, let's say, so we having card issues. Hold on. Okay. So this is an example that just kind of came up to mind. When we are tapping into our gifts. Okay, so let's say you're tapping into your, what should we go with, spirit? Clairaudience? Okay, we're going to go with clairaudience. Let's say you're tapping into your clairaudience. Something that you may find is your clairaudience, you keep working on it and you keep fine tuning it and you're like, okay, I'm ready to receive messages. I'm ready to receive messages, but then you're not really hearing much. Then all of a sudden you start to have a conversation with like a friend or somebody, just an inspired conversation. It could be somebody at the grocery store and you're both looking at essential oils and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, what essential oils would you like recommend? Like what do you use?" And then you're hearing all the messages. It's flowing through and it's just, yeah, do use this essential oil for this essential oil for that. And it just flows and it flows and it flows. And then it's a great inspired conversation. And then you leave and you're like, where did that come from? That is how our gifts work most of the time, where they will turn on and flow when you are using them in service. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but if you've been having a block, that could be part of what is coming up, is you're being asked to share your gift in some way, even if it's just with some close friends or something for now. You're being asked to share your gift in some way, and that will show you how much you've actually worked on the gift and allowed it to really flow through and like tap into it and flow through. Like the energy and the information will come when you are in a scenario where it's needed, basically. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's see. So this is the bridge. The leap, challenge, or decision to face, and the change or action you're being called to make. So we have the great severing, which is Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. Okay. And all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Okay, so this is that fine balance. So, yeah, again, what you're being asked to do is to acknowledge and honor your intuition, and also to really step up into your spiritual and your just authority in your own life. And this Mars energy is the energy of like, this is my life. This is what I'm choosing to do with my life. I've come this far on this journey, and I know what it is I'm being called to do. Even if you don't know exactly what it is, it might be maybe you're being called to serve in some way. Maybe you're being called to share your art in some way. There's going to be some sort of a calling for whoever this is for that is there. And so you might not fully know the end product, so to speak, because it's always ever evolving anyways, but you're definitely going to be having some sort of inkling of you're going to be having this urge to share something with the world. And if you're at the point on your journey where you're like, I know I'm here to serve, I know I want to share something with the world, but I'm not sure what, then I would recommend asking for some guidance and some help on that. And then you can also do some like automated writing where you just get a piece of pen and a paper and you just start writing and just write down whatever comes through. And you can even start with, like, what would it be like? What do I enjoy doing that would also serve others? And then just start writing, lists of different ideas. And that's a way to kind of get that flowing. Just make a list. Like, these are all the things I enjoy doing. These are all the things I would love to do. This is the way that I would love to serve. And then it'll start becoming more clear. And when you write it down, it really helps to kind of get it out on paper, and then you can look at it and you'll start to see like, oh, this one, there'll just be like a resonance with something when you write down a list like that, and then just kind of follow it a little bit. In the path is one of those, like, it will be illuminated as you go. So just keep that in mind if you don't have it all figured out right now. That was something I struggled with a lot, and I still have to do the whole like trust the process, because I'll try and visualize like the big end goal, and it's one of those, that's not really what I'm manifesting at this point. And so, it's all learning, and it's just part of the journey. So just, go easy on yourself. And also, with this Mars energy, this can be an energy where you're being asked to hold your ground on something. You're being asked to hold a boundary on something. Listen to your intuition, hold a boundary. And then also, you might be going through heart wall, well, like releasing heart walls is what I heard. So you could be doing heart chakra work at the moment as well. And with that, this is asking you to soften that energy a little bit in a way that is, when we're doing this, having good, healthy boundaries is a very good thing. It's a form of self love. It's a way of showing up in the world and saying, I will allow, this dynamic in my life. I will not allow this dynamic in my life anymore. And it's a very like, this is where I'm at. I'm done with the, narcissist empath paradigm, for example. That's a big one. Um, that a lot of spiritual people are working through right now, collectively. That's a really, really big paradigm that is shifting right now. Um, so whatever it is for you, hold those boundaries, and then also be aware that sometimes we can have walls up that we tell ourselves it's a boundary, and it's actually uh, a defense mechanism. It's actually a wall so that we don't get hurt, so that we don't have to be vulnerable. And so that could be what you're working through right now, or you're being asked to kind of look at, is like, is this actually a healthy boundary, or is this coming from a triggered state? Is this coming from an internal wound that is, unhealed, and it's disguising itself as a boundary, and it's actually a way to keep myself safe and keep other people away? And so you could be being asked to look a little bit deeper, um, on that. And so if that resonates, take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. What else wants to come out? Turn your gaze within. So yeah, so we've got a lot of internal work happening here. And so what I'm getting is that you're in this place where you're being asked to balance that internal work with sharing and really tapping into a place to where you're able to give your gifts to the world in whatever way that is for you. Um and so this is beautiful. This is really when we get into that integration energy, and it leads to a very balanced, harmonious, um kind of this dance where it's okay, something just came up and I was triggered, so there's a little more shadow work that I get to look at, and let's take a little deep dive on this. And I'm also at the same time going to be sharing my gifts with the world, and helping, or yeah, just your external reality. It doesn't have to be like some massive global scale thing. This can be, maybe you run a greenhouse and you sell people amazing plants, whatever it is. You're sharing that wisdom, you're sharing your gifts in whatever way that is for you. And so it's this balance and this dance of, and that's where we go with that spiral energy as well. And so you could be being asked to kind of pull out of some of the inner work a little bit, to share a little bit, and then you'll be guided to go back in and go, even deeper. So that's just a little side note of how it can work sometimes. Alrighty. Well, with that, I just felt the energy leave a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here. If this resonates, definitely let me know in the comments below. And you can also share your experiences with, different things, or maybe what you're working on right now. If you're doing shadow work, or if you want to share techniques. The comment section is something that is a place where you can affirm energy. It's also a place where you can share. And I really love the idea of having like a safe space. And so just know that, I will monitor the comments, and, you know, it's a safe space. So just remember that. And, we're here to help uplift each other. So keep that in mind. But definitely feel free to use the comments. It's awesome. And I love talking to you guys in the comments too. It's so fun. If you like this message, you can hit that like button. And if you would like to see more messages from me and you haven't yet, you can hit that subscribe button. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And I will see you on the next message. Bye.